list things. Okay, so this table helps us to arrange the layout of our code. Now I want to say this: table is not actually the best way to do all of these things. It is CSS. We should not do any of these things in our HTML code. If you want to style anything, or you want to make your change the layout of your HTML code, you should use CSS. HTML is just for the structure. But the reason why we are doing that is because we are not teaching CSS right now, and we want this layout to look like this. So that's why we are trying to use table now. So now what we are going to do now is we are going to change this to this by using HTML tables. So if you want to start with HTML tables, the first thing you do is you come here. So I'm going to write it down under the skills. Don't worry, I'll still arrange it very well. And I'm going to say table, and I'll click enter. So you can see that this is another tag. So everything you are typing is a tag, because that is what format how it's going to show on the screen. So I'm going to say table. I'm going to go inside and say table has some things that will make it work well. You can see that when I type the table itself, there's nothing showing here, but you need some children that it has to make it work. And one of the children is called a table row. Now a table row is a row. When we say a row in something, so in a table, every table has a row. Now when I say row, this is a row. Now this line from this first name to the last name here, everything like this, from this line to this line is a row. Then this second one with the John and Doe is another row, and this one is another row. So you need to specify it in this table when you are trying to create a table. So how to specify a table row is by saying tr. So tr means table rows. If you hover on it, the VS Code will give you what it means. So you say the 3R elements represent a row of cells in a table. So it means this is a row. So now what we just wrote here now, it means this is like this thing here. So if I say camel, and I come to my page, you will see something camel, and this is one row like this. But because we don't have another row, but let me put another row here, and I say camel 2, you see that this is, now the reason why it's not showing very well is because I've not added something. Now this is supposed to be another row here like this, but it's not doing like that. The reason is because each row has a cell. You understand? Each row has a cell. So if you go to the MDN, it says that so this is a row, and then there's something called table cells. Let me look for it. Table data. So the table data is going to be inside the cell. So this is a cell now. Look at this. This green part is a cell. This one box like this is a cell. This box like this is another cell. This orange box like this is another cell. And everything here is a row. You understand? So each cells are always inside a row. So if I want to put something inside my row, I'll first say how to represent it. So now table row has a child called data to show the cell of my this thing. So now this table data, if I hover on it, you see the TD element represents a data cell in a table. So this is a cell. So if I now say camel or camel 1, and I come here and do the same thing and call it camel 2, and I call it camel 2, you now see that it's going to be in different rows. You can see now that this one is a row, this one is another row. Now it's not on the same line again, because a row is on its own line and another row it is its own line. So now this is a table like this, as you are seeing it. Don't mind it. Don't mind that we've not even added all this border or whatever you are seeing here. We'll still do all of those things. But now the first thing I want you to understand is that every table has a table row, and a table row has a table data. you need that table data to be able to specify each cell. So now if I want to put something by this left and right hand side, I have to create another table data. So you can have as many as as much as table data you want. I can now say table 1b, camel 1b. Now this is going to be on the same line and it's going to look like this. See it? So this is a cell, this is another cell, but everything is a row. Now if I do the same thing here on camel 2, it's going to be camel 2b. All of them are going to be on the same line, and you can see everything is on the same line. And if you notice, even if I write something that is very, very long, so camel b, so it is still, this is going to show. Now okay, this is not where I'm supposed to put it. Let me put it somewhere else. So if I put that thing that I wrote here and I put it here and I format my code, sorry, it's supposed to be 1. So and I format my code, well, this one is not here, it's not supposed to be here. So now you can see that even as close as this thing is to this place, because this one is long, it will give that space. The reason is because the line here is just a cell, and this cell, no matter how long, when you are creating a table in Microsoft Word or you are drawing on a paper, you make sure that if whatever you are going to type is going to be long, you make sure that it falls inside the same line with the rest of the thing. If it does not fall, it is not going to look like a real table. And that is how you do this here also. Now web development is longer than Flutter, and is making, so because we are not using table, this 5-star is not shifting to this place. And now this is what I want to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this Flutter here. So instead of camel 1, I'll say Flutter, and whatever that's going to be beside it is 5-star, and it's going to be the second table data, and I'm going to save it. Now you can see that I have Flutter here, and look at where the 5-star is. So if I come to the second one and say web development, you can see I'm not using paragraph now because it's not just a paragraph. So web development, and I bring the 5-star, I remove it from here and I put it in the second line. It's going to do the same thing. Now this 5 starts from the same line. And how do you know this? Now there's a way you can show all these lines in your table, all these border lines on your table, and this is how to do it in your code. All you need to do is come to this table. This table has its attributes, and then you call it border and equals to whatever, the quotes. Then when you say equals to, then you now say 1. Now this 1 means 1 pixels. You understand? So that one is going to just create a border. You can see now it's creating a border, and you can now see that this is just a cell on its own, and this is another cell on its own. So if I keep writing something that will be long here, it will just keep increasing the length of that cell. And for this one too, because 5-star is another cell and this is another cell, so you need to understand that. So let me delete that. So now everything is on the same line now, and then the next thing I want to do is to check my WordPress. So I'm going to copy another row. Now I cannot, now this WordPress is supposed to be another row, it is not on the same row. So if I come here and put WordPress here inside the table data in the same row, if I do that, you see that it did not go down, it just came to this line, which is not supposed to be so. It is supposed to be, this thing is confusing me, sorry. So it's supposed to be to come down here. The reason it's not coming out is because it's a table data, not a row. And this is a row and this is another row. So automatically now, if you look at this, this is the first row, this is the second row. Then we need another row, which is going to be our third row. And that one will hold our WordPress TD. So like I said, TD is inside a table row, not a table. I want you to understand that. It is not inside a table. So now, I'll copy and paste it and put 5 star here again. And when I save it, you see that it has come down here. So Flutter web development WordPress 5 star. Now the last one is this UI UX design, and it's going to be another row also. So you need to create another row, then you copy and paste again, and then I'm going to say UX design and put it here, and I'm going to say 5 star again. Okay, 5 star is already there, so I'm going to delete this one, and then you see it here. So now I don't want to put this border here because in our reference code there's no border there. Now look at the way it's looking different from what we have here. So I'll just remove this border thing, and then you see it like this. You can see that as long as this one is the 5 star, all of them still stay on the same line. So that's how to create a table. Now there's something else I want to mention in a table. Imagine you want to create a table heading. Now a table head is where you have, like, let's say you want to create something that has skill and score, or let's say what is that thing called, experience. So now I can just come here and say, I cannot come here and say TD whatever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to create another row up here for my, let me remove these paragraphs that are here. Now I'm going to have to create another row here, which is going to be TR, like I did the first time, and I'm going to say TR. But inside here I'm not going to put TD because this is an heading, so it's going to be different from this. It's going to be called TH. So TH, and I'm going to say, so this one is going to be for the first cell. Now you understand that table row and a cell. Now in my table I have only 2 cells, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Now this one is supposed to be 2 also, because the first one is going to be work, and which is the work that I'm doing, which is this cell. And then the next one is going to say, it's supposed to say what's it called, experience mark or something, experience score or something. So now you can see that this experience mark is for this row, and for this line, and this work is for this place. So what it's doing is that this work and this experience are different. So if I put that border back here so that you can understand what I mean, and I save it, you can see it now. So this is the title of a page, and this is the title of another page. So another cell, another line rather. So your table can be as long as this, as short as this, and as long as long as you can be, depending on the information you want to pass. So I can pass age, I can pass year that I worked, all of those things, but I'm not passing all of those things. So that's how you create a table. You need to put all of those things in places so that it can work as you want it to work. I am going to go to how to type emojis so I'm still talking about using HTML tables for layout, and I'm still going to talk about this, and this is where we are going to stop. So now this layout, this 5 star rather, I don't want it to be 5 star, I want to be real emojis. So if I want to bring out an emoji in my own MacBook, now I'm not using Windows, so what I use is Control, Command and space. So if I press it together and I put my cursor here, I'll just say, so it's supposed to bring it out, which is not, I don't know why. Okay, yes, this is it. So now you can see the emoji the way you find it on your phone. So I can now search for star, and I'm going to put it here. So I can copy it and paste it here as many times as I want, since it's 5 star. So I'm going to say, oh, so I'm going to say, yeah. So So you guys can browse your for your Windows. But what I did here, so now if I go to my website, you'll see it here. See 5-star. You can see how beautiful it is right now. So what I feel you can do is do right now is you can go to, I think it's in the course resources. Go to the course resources and look for emoji something something. This is the Unicode characters with a map on unicodetable.com. So here you can see different emojis that you want. So you can go to where are they? I think you can search emojis. So now you can search emoji, any type of emoji. So emoji star, sorry. So look at the one I use here. So when you click on it, it will open the emoji star. Yeah, so this is it now. So you can actually use it on your website. You can download it if you want to, but I'm not sure you can download it here. I don't know why. Maybe because you need to register or something. So they are not allowing us to download, but you can copy the HTML code. Get this the symbol code. So if I copy it here, so it's copied, I can now come to my code and then paste it here. Say Ctrl V, and you see I just copied. So if you want any emoji and you want to use it here, and me, I don't need to go to this website. The reason why I found out I looked for this website is because I don't know how to do this thing on Windows. I know how to do it on my own system, but I think every device has emoji, so you should be able to do that. Okay, let's see how you do it. So let's search for it online and say how to type emojis on Windows. So Windows keyboard. Type Windows logo key plus period. That period means full stop. So you can actually try it out now. Go to your VS Code. Type. So you hold on your Windows key and type period. Like you hold on your Windows key. You won't leave it. You press and hold it and press full stop and see if it will come out. So now I just did all this. So now I use this th to show you how to add heading to your table. So I'm not going to do that. I will just remove it because I don't need it. Yeah, so that is it. So now I already have a star. WordPress star is not. So I'm going to put this back because I don't want to be copying this thing too much. So let me just remove 2-star. WordPress is 3. UI UX is 4. Flutter is 5. Web development is 5. And that is it. So now you can see how my website is looking beautiful right now, though it's not like this yet. So for me to now give it this space that is here, what I'm going to do is I have an attribute for table that is called cell spacing, and if I give it 20, it's going to give that space. You can see now the space is here already, and look at it, it's almost the same thing. So that space is there. So do you get it now? Do you guys understand it? The timetable, I've done HTML table for layout, how to type emoji. Now you know how to put emojis. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, so if you want to do this, now this is another page. It means that this is another file. So if you want to go to another page on your website, you have to have another file on your website. Now we have one file. This file is homepage.html. If you look at my personal website on my desktop, you will see that I have, where is it, personal website. You will see that I have the 3 files. This is a folder, it's not a file. I have 3 files. I have one that is contact.html, hobbies.html, and index.html. Now this index is the same as homepage.html. Now let me tell you the reason why I gave it index. It is because of the server. So if you want to put something on your server, you should not name it like this. You should name it index. The server does not understand what this means. So it is from your index the server will start now going to the link, from another link to another link. And I've already explained what server and client is to you guys, so I don't need to go deep into that one anymore. So I hope I hope so, but I'm thinking that you guys do not need to, I don't need to go back there. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of me typing this whole thing from the beginning again, so I'm just going to open my personal website code, because I already taught you how to create a new file. So I'm just going to open my personal website code and bring in the things that are already created. So I'm going to go to hobbies and copy and drag this file from here to this place. So it's going to put it here. Look at it. And I'm going to drag the second one here to this place, and it's going to create that second one too. So now I want you to understand something. This is the same thing by saying that, clicking here and saying contact.html like I did. So now the reason why I can't be typing all of these things again and again, because I've already explained what they are. So I can't be typing them again and again. Let me close this form. We are not doing form now. So I wanted to do it today, but time is gone, so I don't want to take your time. That's why I'm closing it. So now if I go to my website, you'll see something here, and if I click on it, it's going to go to my hobbies page. You understand? And this is what is inside the hobbies page. But if you go to the new one that we are creating here, you will not see it there, because this thing, I've not referenced it in the homepage.html. So now if I come to the bottom of this table, after these skills, it's supposed to be my work experience, which I said I'm not going to create. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to create it. Or let me just bring in the personal website and copy the code from there and put it here, so you guys can find out how to do that yourself, since I've taught you that. So I'm going to go to my index.html. I'm still going to explain that index very well, don't worry. So I'm going to go to my work experience and table, and so I'm going to come here and say work experience. So let me remove this one that I put here. If I save it and let me reformat my code, saying with Prettier, and I save it and I go to my browser, I will see that work experience thing here. You can see it's the same thing. Then one thing that I did not do here is I did not separate the skills from the WordPress work experience rather. So now I have to separate it, and what did I say I'm going to use to separate? Is going to be the horizontal rule, which is the HR. So you just type it like that and it's going to show the separation. Look at it. And after the work experience also, I want to separate the work experience also from this one to this one. And then the last thing I want to do now is my hobbies. So I have something called my hobbies. And I have another one called my contact. And the name of the address is just hobbies.html. Because it's not somewhere like instagram.com. That's not where it is. The name of it is hobbies.html. So automatically this is the address. So if you look at my this one, you see that I'm saying hobbies.html here, because that's the address. Don't worry about this port. This port is coming from the live server that we installed, and if you look at it here, you see port 5500, which is here, port 5500. That's the IP address. When I was talking about IP address, this IP address is what you will send to your server, and it will change. You would have bought a domain. This thing will represent your domain in your server, which will now be www.something/hobbies.html. So this /hobbies.html means that it is not the home page. But if you look at the home page, there's no hobbies.html, it's just /index.html. You understand now? You understand? And here we have my hobbies, but I don't want this thing to be on different lines, and but you have to give it space so that I can have space. But I told you that it's only one space that this recognizes. It doesn't recognize two spaces. So I can delete the other paragraph, and when I come here, it's going to show it on the same line. You can see. So now I can go to contact page, okay, sorry, it's linking to the same place. Now you can see that. So when I reformat my code, because I don't like the way it's staying, like this one is staying here and all of that, and I'm not able to see my code very well. But when I format my code with prettier, it's going to stay on different lines and I'll see it very well. You can see. So this one, you can see that I link it to the same place and it's not going to the contact, it's going to my hobbies. So I have to come and change this one to contact.html, which is the name that I put there. Now don't mistake anything. If you mistake this S and I save it and I go back, if I come here and say go to, why is it not saving? It's still in hobbies. Let me reload it. So now it's in contact. So when I click on contact, you can see it's saying cannot get contacts because of the S there. Don't assume that it's going to understand. The browser is very foolish. It's not that smart. So it's not going to understand whatever you are trying to do. So you have to make sure it's the same thing. And when you are naming your file, please don't put capital letter. I've said it before. Don't put it there. It should be small letter throughout. Because if you put capital letter here, it will work on the browser and you get to the server will not recognize it. So always have that at the back of your mind. So now, it will now go to the contacts.html now and look at it. Okay, I have to reload it and then go to the contacts.html. So now I want to explain how I did this. So now let me go to the contacts. So the hobbies, I'm not going to explain anything about the hobbies because we already worked on it. Look at it. This is just a list and I've already explained how to render a list on the browser, so I don't need to start explaining that one anymore. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my contacts.html, which is this one, and I'm going to teach you how I created this. So contact me. So this one, that it will now go and call my number immediately. So what you do is, let me see, close this. So when you come here, you can see that I wrapped it inside a paragraph so that it can be on different line. I don't want to put them on the same line. So when you come here, you can see the paragraph first and the second one. Or let me just redo it so that you guys will understand. I'm not supposed to do this. So P. So what I'm trying to do is call me on. So I'm going to say call me on. What's my number? 070 17 18 16 19. Actually, that's my real number. If you go and check it, you'll see it. So now, if I save it and I come here, you see it's just showing me the number without a link. So now, I've taught you how to link something. So you can say A. So you have to wrap it inside an A tag and you have to stop it here. But it's not going to link here except we put href. And when we put href, it's showing that this is a link now, but it does not know where it's going to. This link does not have a place it's going to. So even if I click it, it's going to stay here. It's not going to go anywhere because I didn't link it to any place. So now because we are trying to link a telephone to our phone, like this thing, we want it to, when they click it, they should be able to call us directly from our website. So you have there's this attribute, there's this value that you use, which is called tel. So this tel is like short word of telephone. Then you put a colon, this colon here. So after writing tel colon, then you now say the number you want to describe, you want the person to call. So even if I put this number here and I put another number inside here, it's going to call another number, not this one here. But if I want them to call this one, I should put the same number exactly here. But the only thing that will be different is to remove the first 0. So if you copy this and I put it here, if you want this to be valid and call the right number, you should remove this first 0 and put 234. So now this 234 means that is a Nigerian number. So don't put plus. So don't put plus like this. It won't work well. It's not right actually. So don't ever put plus. So just put 234, or if it's a UK number 44, or if it's US, I think US 1 or something. So Nigeria, we are in Nigeria, so it's 234. And then you know when you are writing 234, you don't put the first zero. And if you don't want to put 234, just put it like this. Don't put the first zero. But you know the difficult thing about this is that when this thing gets to the phone, it's not going to know which kind of number you are trying to call, because the zero is not there. And if you put zero here, this zero, if you put zero here now, this zero will stand for the country code, like the country, the number code, the telephone number code, which is not supposed to be. So that's why I say you should not put it. So it's better you just put it like this. But when you put it like this and you go to your phone, it's going to see this as a line, maybe a line or something like that, and it will not know exactly what to put, because a US number can be like this, a UK number can be like this. The only thing that differentiates them is that zero in front. But if you put zero like this, it means you are saying that's the country code, and you have to put 234, which is the country code, and put the number, so it will know that okay, this is what you are trying to call, not anything. You go to your phone and just type 701 and think you were able to call me. You won't be able to call me because it's not going to recognize this. So just put 234 or put the right number there. You understand? And when you do that, it will be able to call me and link it to your phone. So now I'm not doing FaceTime. So now what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to upload this to a server, so that on your phone you can check this website. And you are going to learn how to do that now. And when you do your assignment, it's the same thing you should do. After creating the website, create your own account in that server that I'm going to use for you, and then you are going to visit so you are going to just send me the link of this assignment. So you are not uploading anything, you are just sending me the link. And when you send me the link, I will check your website from there. Then if I see anything wrong, I can now say, okay, upload your code, let me see what is wrong in this your code. Do you guys understand? Are you guys getting it? Do you guys get what I just did?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the next thing is I want you to show my email. So let me go here. Oh, it's showing my personal website. No, that's not what I want. Okay, let me go live on this too, so that I can see what I'm trying to create. So you can see that it's showing on another port 5501, because this one is already taken 5500. So always know that this port should be unique. That's why I showed this one in 5501. Now let me go to that contact me here, and the next thing I want to do is send me a WhatsApp message. Don't worry about this form, we will do that later. So send me a WhatsApp message. So I'm going to go to my code and say p tag and say or send me a WhatsApp message. Now this is what we are linking, this WhatsApp message. So I can just link this. So if you want to have the icon here, maybe you just want to have the WhatsApp icon, you know how to bring in an icon now. So I can decide to bring in an icon. Let me see if there's WhatsApp emoji here, which I'm not sure. No, there's no WhatsApp emoji. So there's no social media icons here. Later we are going to be using icons. I just want to show. So let me just say the call icon. You know the call emoji. So let me just bring in my emoji tab and type call here. I think there's that one. So yes, this is it. So I can just use it here. So I'm not even supposed to use it here. I'm supposed to use it here. So if you look at it here, you see the call icon here, and I can put a message icon here. So you can bring the emoji in and say message. There should be a chat something icon. Okay, I can't start wasting your time here. So the next thing is we do it the same way. We wrap it with the a tag. So I'm going to say a href. And I'll use the angle brackets, and I'll put the WhatsApp message in between. It's still not going anywhere because we did not ask it to go anywhere. If I click on it, it's just stay here. So now what we want to do is to show us WhatsApp message. So now WhatsApp has something, as WhatsApp actually gave us a link, and a lot of people know these things. So if I go to Instagram, don't let me go to Instagram. If you go to WhatsApp link, a lot of people use this thing to chat. So a lot of people use this thing every time on their page. So if you want to create a WhatsApp link, you can go to WhatsApp itself. So let me go to WhatsApp itself. Don't let me use a third party service. So this is WhatsApp. It's WhatsApp page. Now look at what it says. It says use http://wa.a.me/ whatever. And if you look at some people's Instagram bio, like their Instagram profile, you see there their number, their link, their WhatsApp link. So when you click on it, and it's the same thing that is here that they put here. So what you are going to do is on a server, it's not your system. So you have to use HTTPS. So HTTPS, and you know that this way you write normal. If you go to every website and I click on, you can see HTTPS the colon // and that's how you do it here too. Then you now go to where you want to go to, which is wa.me/. Now it's going to be slash that particular number. So this is my own number. Now don't use 234 or anything, just use your number. You can use 234, but it should not be plus anything like I said before. So you can say 234 70 17 18 16 19, and then when you save it and you click on this in your browser, let me close this. So okay, let me open this back. I want to talk about something. What's wrong with my keyboard? So now this is also a form of documentation. You see all these things, none of us just learn these things somewhere or anything. This thing is provided by WhatsApp. It's a documentation how to do this. So it's not something that they will teach you in web development, though they will teach you now. But if WhatsApp changes this thing today, you have to come and check it yourself. So you need to be reading documentation. So this is like a documentation. This is an example of a documentation. And when you read about it, you learn some things you can do. So you can see create your own link with prefilled message. So in case you want people to come in and send a message to you directly, that means you have to add something like text and start typing. Then how to use chat on WhatsApp button, whatever. So you need to always read documentations to be able to do some things. Don't expect somebody to teach you, or somebody, you need to read. That's why I said as a developer you need to learn how to read. Don't start waiting, don't be lazy to read. You need to read. So now when I click on this, it's going to take me to WhatsApp. You understand? And you can see that it's even my name here, my WhatsApp name that is here, because that's my number, like I said. Now I said something that you don't need to leave your page. This call is not going to leave your page. It's just going to open this thing on your phone, and then you can make your call. But this one will leave your page and go to WhatsApp's website, and open the WhatsApp app. Now this one, I explained how to do that. So who can tell me how to make sure that it doesn't open on this page and it opens another tab? Who can tell me? So now let's move to the next thing, which is you can also send me a mail. Now I can, wow, this, so I'm going to say P, and then I'm going to, what's there? You can also send me a mail. You can also send me a mail. So now I want them to send me a mail, and the mail is what I'm using as a link. So you can see how I'm doing it. I'm wrapping whatever I want as a link only as the link, not any other thing. So I'm going to copy this and cut it. I'm going to cut it from here and paste it in between this thing. So if you want to wrap only this mail, don't put it at the beginning. It's going to wrap everything. So it's whatever you are trying to affect that you wrap the tag in to. So now we've talked about HR tag, for horizontal row, body tag, head tag, P tag, anchor tag, and all of that. So you should understand what these things are now. So now if I come here, you see that the mail is already a link and it's not going anywhere. So for you to be able to link something to your mail, you want them to do it this way. So if you click on this, it's going to it's going to open your mail on your own system. If you are viewing this website on your own system and you want your person or the user using your website to send you an email, when they click on this, it will just open that mail and it will not ask them to type in this mail because the email would have been typed in here already. So it's already going to you. They just need to type what they want to type. And it's possible to also pre-fill this, like the WhatsApp message where you see pre-fill. That pre-fill means that, let me close this. That pre-fill means that or a message will be there already. I'm sure some of us would have clicked on a link to a group or to a WhatsApp number. You now see something like I am this, I got your number so, or I am interested in this, and then when you type I am interested in web development class, it will already it will have been typed there already. So it's always like this. It's called a prefilled message. It can happen in mail too, but I'm not going to talk about that today. It's just how to link to mail. So I'm going to go to my VS Code and teach you how to do that. So now when I get to my VS Code, what I need is mail to, you can see mail to. Now this mail to will identify whatever mail platform you are using. So because I'm on a Mac, so it's identifying the Mac email this thing. So if you are on another system, it can open Outlook, maybe on Windows or something like that. So this is the one that comes with MacBook. So now I'm going to say mail to. So this mail to, after mail to, you put colon, the way you are doing it with telephone, colon here. So you are putting colon and saying and specifying which email you want them to send it to. So it's going to be abe.developer@gmail.com. So this is my own mail. So if I go back here, it's going to be, if I click on this now, this is the new one and it's going to take them to my email. You can see it now, and they can now type what they want and submit and send it to me. So that's how you do it in your website.